saying congratulations on the brand new album. I've had a chance to have a listen to it, and it's fantastic, so congratulations.
Thank you very much, man.
So tell us a little bit about this album. Was there something that you guys wanted to achieve with this album? Was there goals that you set yourselves when you sat down to work on this album?
Yeah, for sure. I think the main goal for us was to perfect our sound, or to more focus on what we're doing, and getting specific elements of our sound just right this time. And yeah, like making it a little more compact. The album's a little bit shorter than our first one. The songs are shorter, more to the point, and that's something we wanted to do.
What were some of the elements that you wanted to get right with this album? Because it's been amazing to hear how your band has evolved over the years. What were the elements that you wanted to get right this time?
For sure, the song structure. I mean, the songs aren't like really pop structure, but there is more, at least in my opinion, there's more feel of like a repeating part, or a chorus, if you want to say it. We have more hooks on this record, I think. That's something we always enjoy, like a main riff or vocal line or something that gets stuck in your head. The songs should be shorter and like heavier in a way, that it's not as drawn out, and the songs are more like a punch to the face, really.
Yep.
And the atmosphere was something we wanted to improve, like make it denser and a little more gloomy, if you want to say it.
I was actually going to mention that. It was my next question. There is a real kind of atmosphere with this album. How did you guys go about creating that? Did you change the way you recorded, or did it all come down to the songwriting?
It really came down to the songwriting. The first album was more like an in-between step from the first EP, where a bunch of other guys were involved, and we had some lineup changes. And when the first record was written, I joined the band, and most of the songs were already there, at least the main riffs and everything. And I couldn't get that much of my influence into the sound. And with this record, I was a little more involved in saying what I wanted for each song, and we could discuss it a bit deeper. And I'm coming from a more like post-metal, black metal background, all things that are super atmospheric. And I was pretty adamant that we put those elements in there, because I think it's fitting, and not many death metal bands, I think, in this more traditional death metal style are doing this super dense atmospheric stuff. And yeah, that's something that was really important and came down to songwriting, really.
There's a few themes in there as well around horror and sci-fi. Tell us a little bit about those themes and where they came from. Are you a big horror sci-fi fan yourself?
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's all the Lovecraftian stuff, really. I love everything that has to do with like big ancient cosmic beings and stuff that is like harder to comprehend. And our guitarist Julian, he's really into all things sci-fi, like from video games like Dead Space to Alien and everything that has to do with that stuff. And we combined that, and the lyrical themes reflect all that. It's a lot about space beings and gods, and the stories that involve them.
Well, what kind of music did you grow up listening to, and what kind of things did you grow up watching? Because I love that mix of metal and with horror and sci-fi. I always think that's such a great mix. So where did that mix come from you? What did you grow up listening to and watching?
I loved sci-fi films from the very early age on. Like Star Wars was for sure the first one
Yep.
that I remember, and then really everything that has to do with space. It's always fascinating how it is captured in film and in video games. And for listening, man, I really grew up with all the classics from my dad, with like Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, all these big thrash bands. And then I got into hardcore a lot as a kid. And then over the last, I would say, 10 years, I really got into everything that is like super atmospheric. I love post-rock that is super chilly. I love black metal, especially all the post-black metal and atmospheric black metal stuff. Yeah, that's something where I really found home for me, where I can dive into and really dwell in the atmosphere and in the compositions and everything.
Definitely. As a band, would you guys ever think about making a movie as a band or doing a soundtrack for a film? Because you guys would be perfect for it.
Oh, thanks, man. I think a movie is a little bit too ambitious for us. And it's something we never really thought about. Movie soundtracks, well, maybe I could picture that. But it's not something that we focus on, or I don't know if we're really good at that.
Yeah.
Because we always have those death metal elements, and I don't know, I can't think of a film where you just have blasting full-on death metal in the background. Yeah, but if we ever have the chance, say it that way, I'm sure we won't deny it.
Yeah.
And we would do our best, but it's not a focus. No.
Maybe
we just like.
Maybe we need a film with a death metal soundtrack. Maybe it's something that we do need.
Well, maybe, yeah. Sure, cosmic horror film, Lovecraftian stuff, death metal. Yeah, well, it could go together, sure.
Definitely. So, Pat, tell us a little bit. Was it difficult to put this album together because of the pandemic? Because I live in a city where, in the first year of the pandemic, we were in lockdown for 200 days. Was it difficult for you guys to work on this album during that time?
Oh, yeah, sure. The album was initially planned to be released in the end of 2019 or 2020. No, it was 2020, I believe. It was scheduled for spring of 2020, and then the pandemic hit and everything got delayed. So we were working on that record for quite a long time now. Our debut record is 6 years old in a couple days. So it's been quite some time, and it was a change, writing everything from home, not being able to go to the rehearsal space, and just doing everything online. Yeah, but we adapted, and it worked out in the end. Yeah.
What was
I think it gave us. I think it gave us, on the other hand, a little bit more time to polish everything and to re-record certain parts and really take our time and work on the artwork. That was a big one for us and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like not being able to get out and do shows? I've spoken to so many bands that have said that it was such a weird feeling not being able to get out and do live shows in front of their fans.
It's a hard one for us. We didn't have a drummer for a really long time now, and everything we did in terms of live performances, we had to hire a drummer and pay him every night, and it was really, really fucking expensive.
Yep.
So not being able to play shows sucked, but we saved a lot of money that way.
Yeah.
So that's like the bright side. But yeah, it was quite frustrating not to play anything because because of the drummer situation, we couldn't play too many shows for the last record. Now this record's coming out, and hopefully we can play a lot of shows and really promote that album the way it deserves. Yeah.
And you've got a new drummer now. Tell us a little bit about
Yes.
how you went about finding that drummer and how you knew that you had the perfect guy for the band.
Oh, it took us ages. The scene in the towns we live, we're split between two towns. The scene's very small but very dedicated, which is nice for shows and everything, but there are not that many musicians here. And especially drummers. It's always a shortage of drummers everywhere.
Yeah.
And we were searching for a really long time. We talked to a lot of guys. Some of them were really, really good, but didn't really like our music, or didn't want to do it like this modern way with click track and in-ear monitoring and everything. They were just like pure old school death metal, no click, everything just raw. And that's something that really doesn't fit us, because we have like a more a more streamlined live show with programmed lights and everything, so it has to be to a click track, and we have to have a drummer that is on a technical level with everything, that he understands what we're doing, that he can what's it called, understand what the technology is that we're using, how to play to a click track, how to use programmed lights and everything. So we were searching for a long time for the right person, and the one we have found now, Levin, he's awesome, man. He's a 16-year-old kid.
Wow.
He's a fucking beast of a drummer, man. I think he's 16. He's been playing drums for 18 years or something. I don't know how he's doing that. He's really, really good, and he's young. He understands everything in terms of the tech we're using. So it's no problem for him. And it was just a lucky find, I guess. He's like the brother of some friend from around three corners of a different town or something. We got in touch with him, and we had, I don't know, 1 or 2 rehearsals before we knew, we definitely want to work with that guy.
Awesome.
And he learned everything in such a short time. It was awesome.
That's amazing. What's your plans now for the rest of this year, and how do you feel now that the album is about to come out? Are you excited or are you nervous?
Both, for sure. We're super excited to have it out. It was such a long time, and it was such a hard process that we really just want to be done with this release, basically, in terms of getting it out there. We want to see it in the shelves. We want to see everyone listening to, or hear them listening to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We want to speak to as many people as possible about it, see their reactions. And we're excited. We're a little bit nervous if the people will like it as much as the first one, or if they think it's even better. That would be awesome. We want to really get the word out and hopefully play as many shows as we can.
Yeah.
We have for the weekend of the release, it's the week after that, we have basically 2 release shows planned. Those are like the first big steps. These are the first 2 gigs in 3 or 4 years for us. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, to finish up the interview, what would you like to say to people out there before they go out and grab a copy of the album on the 13th?
Thank you, everyone. If you're listening to this or to our record, if you're reading a review, if you have if you've done anything to support us, or if you plan to do it, of course, we hope to see as many people as possible on the shows, and we hope you enjoy the record as much as we did, or as much as we did making it, and as much as we do listening to it now.